evil blanket fish has awoken.
All right. Looks like everything's coming in. There we go. That popped in. So we are live once again, and we'll be continuing and possibly finishing the main story of Tales of Arise today. That's as some people have led me to believe there's not that much left, so that's a possibility. But we left off yesterday. We were going into the volcano on our way to a spaceship so that we can invade Lenegus. Let's go ahead and watch the opening. Or opening 2, as it were. Hey, Webon. Don't know if you heard me when I was asking before when you were sharing it, but have you gotten to the point in the storyline where he gets his, like, common writer form, or not yet? Okay.
Hi, everybody!
Hey, Ragnar, how you doing?
We should be able to cook here.
Alright, so let's make our way through the volcano again. Hey, Jigs. What are you up to? How you feeling today?
Adventure we went on.
I did knock down the shortcut last time.
Ow!
Seriously? Is this a joke?
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! In an instant! Impact claw! I'll finish you too slow! Take it! Help this! Blood! Rending you up! This will keep charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Good! I'll leave it to you!
Make it rain!
Roll now! First strike! Back it up! Watch it! I'm on it! I knew we could count on you!
As we all count on your courage.
Yeah! You're welcome! Do it! Jolie! Hey! Blow them away!
You can use martial arts too? Am I overstepping my bounds?
That's good. Yeah, I was basically just hoping that you would go talk whatever it is over with your doctor, because you don't want to mess with your mental health, since it can set you back since you're trying to get better. Oh crap, it's a new day. I gotta give them a new costume.
Now you've gone and ticked me off. I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher! Shine on! What's this? I'm sorry to be a dog. We've all got enough on us. Yes, ma'am. I'm on. That's the thing. Super swallow dead! I'm on it! Begin! In a bind? Ignore! Oh! Now I'm real mad! Think of the abyssal deep in your heart! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Blow them away!
I mean, you would think that.
That'll teach us for getting cocky.
Like, a lot of people would assume that we would know a lot about the human mind, but truth be told, that's one of the things that we actually know very little about, comparatively to, like, other things that we've researched and studied.
Ticked me off.
All yours!
Thanks, Kisara. Here goes! Inferno!
Roll into the back! What's this? Death Cluster! I'm on it! The enemy feels R2.
You'll soon see about that. Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Look sharp! Already on! Stalagmite! I'm on yours! Come and get it! This one's mine! You don't need to sound surprised.
Perhaps I'll put more faith in you then.
Well, I certainly won't argue.
Get toasty!
Burn strike! That's enough! I'll end you!
Here I come. Which one's ready?
Super swallow dead!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
So what were they guarding?
This one's all along!
Prince Sage. Alright, need to change costumes. So why am I dropping so many frames? Looks like it's just a couple of dips. See if it clears up. Have everybody in with an alternate of their canon outfit for now. I'm almost tempted to try changing servers. Because it's like a little, it's not like bad to where I think it's my ISP, it's just a little shaky.
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Leave the enemy's heart to me.
No place here. They smite with blackened blade. First strike. I'll tear you apart.
I thought you more defensively. Get toasty.
Burn strike.
Right. Next one.
Already on.
This one is mine.
Take Bolero. Blizzard blow. Rip his head. Eagle assault. You see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that. Ripping you apart. Take it down. Bloody hell.
Make it well.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Now that's a mystic art!
We should really use them more often.
That would be less mystic.
You have to aim for the right area on their back.
I'll tear you apart! Hit him well! First strike! Astral arts?
That's my cue.
Shut him down! No armor can stop me! Remind me to stay on your way. What you on?
Get toasty.
Burn strike!
Right. Next one.
Already on. Inferno punch. Rip and tear. Eagle assault. I'm on. That's enough. I'll tear you apart. Super swallow dance on the wind. Swallow dance. Another incantation ruin. I can carve through armor. That's enough. Whirlwind snap. I'm on a roll now. Swallow dance.
Do it.
Tornado drop.
Get toasty.
Bird strike. You take this. Come and get it. Whirlwind snap. Swallow dance. I'm ready.
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life.
That was a little close for comfort. It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there'll be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
Hey, are we gonna get going or what?
Let's go back and kill anything that we missed. Make sure there's no witnesses.
Retreat if you know what's good for you. Now you see what I can do. Inferno punch! The bigger they are, the harder they fall. I'm on it. Oh, and over the incantation ruin. I
Got some depth to this.
Havoc! I'm on it. Oh, and
A new leaf on life.
My downfall.
Super swallow dance! No one can break this swallow dance! I'm blocking it strong! Of regeneration! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! Do it! I'll tear you! Demon's descent! Flashing fangs! I'm on a roll now! I'll smash you! Regeneration! Pierce through! Allow me to in the glue! Super flame dance! Spinning the swat! Shoot up!
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action!
Don't push yourself too hard.
Retreat if you know what's good for you. Armor won't save you. Switch I'll tear you apart. It curls up. Time to get out of the way. What a relief. For the weak point. I'm on it. You're done. I'll tear you apart. Swallow dance. I'll make you feel it now. Turn up. I'll smash you. Fuck on. Come and get it. Just like that, I'm zapped.
No sooner said, I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisha!
I'm ready!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! And done!
Let's keep up the pace!
We're winning that! I'm on a roll now! Swallow down! Massive knuckle!
Much obliged.
Art expert coming through!
Crush it!
Have unique ways of...
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! You're wide open! I'm ready! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! You're wide open! Hurricane through! Now make the groove!
Is Beastly supposed to be a compliment?
Yes. You outbeat the beast.
You're feistier than you look.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
The matter's
Armor won't save you! First strike! Glacial kick! I'll carry you! Penumbra! Step back! This one's all law!
Even though it's water, that's just not working out. Like, I'm never getting any lift out of it when I use it. Okay, never mind. That's from way before. Looks like we got boss time.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Can't even attack. Buttons don't do anything.
Even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Dougal? Take care of them while keeping an eye on it. Let me help.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Whirlwind snap! Super swallow dance! Come on, roll now! Force of regeneration! Talon hurricane! The deity! Armor won't save you! Demon lash! Guardian Field! I'm ready to weapon edge! Hey, when did I get so popular? I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Will this help?
Eat this! Glacial punch! Now I'm in the groove! Infernal punch! I'm sorry to be flawed.
We've all got enough on us.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll heal you all. Eagle assault. Healing circle.
Ripid tear!
Mega red. Infernal finish.
What's this?
Flame of fury.
Pierce through! Tear you apart!
Falling storm.
Not today! No dog shall break this fight! You're done! I'm ready to start! I'm ready to go! Elusive deity! Amazing!
I feel like these things have way more HP than the normal ones I've been fighting.
Now you see what I can do! In a bind?
I'm out of ammo.
On your
Annihilation. Healing flame of fury. Glacial spear. I never miss. Here's a healing arc.
Make it rain! Don't leave! Hey! Blow them away!
I'll heal you all.
Now I'm in the groove! Come and get it! I'll tear you apart! I'm ready to go! Now I'm in the groove! Let's keep up the pressure! Take this! Winter dragon! Piercing wall! Shattering the beast! Attack time! Eat this! Off my thunder touch! Hurricane fire! You're done! There you are! Super swallow dance!
Do it.
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
Alright, so what now? Can we actually attack him? No?
I can handle it. Here, come more.
You'll just have to keep fighting.
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
You made me angry. That was a bad idea.
Healing circle.
Thanks, Shion.
How about swallow
Just like that, I'm back in it.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done.
They smite with black Rolling snap! I'll finish you here and now! I'm ready! Don't leave! Hey! Blow them away! You're wide open! Hurricane Flaming meteor!
See, the sad thing, the thing is, all these fire spells that the big guy is throwing at me, my teammates have too. So I can't really tell if it's them or me throwing it out unless I pay attention to the words on the top, and I haven't been.
This one's mine! Raging Luna!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life! And done!
Let's keep up
Truth
the
be
pace.
told, even then, I don't know if they're color-coded like they used to be.
I'll tear you apart! Swallow dance! Watch this! I'm ready! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! It was nice
Oh, I didn't even realize there was still one alive. I thought they were all dead. When the camera started looking at the big guy, I thought all the little ones were dead.
That's the spot. So much
Reinforcements incoming! Not a problem! Here, let me help.
I'll smash you!
Here's a healing arc.
Tiger blade! I'll freaking done it! I'll tear you apart! I'll tear you apart! I'll finish your candy!
I've taken too much damage.
I've let you all down. Come on! You have to hold on!
Okay. It's getting a little ridiculous with all the damage flying around.
Damn it! How are we supposed to win this now?
There's only one storm. Our future will hold many more.
This one's mine!
First strike! I've let you all down. Not done yet!
Is that a healing arc? It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more careful.
Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Oh, that guy's cheating. Hiding all the way up in the air where we can't target him.
I'll end you! I'll tear you! I'll smash you! Now I'm in the groove! Swallow dance! Swallow dance!
You picked the wrong fight!
Lightning orb!
That's freaking done!
Feel the medicine work. I owe you, Tion. Healing is what my art can best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
That's much better.
Not in your dreams.
That is the spot.
Illuminate the dark! Come forward!
That freaking does it!
Let me help. This one's mine.
Burn!
Chaos is on next.
Shouldn't have messed with me.
I'll heal you all. Air thrust. Do it. Astral energy.
Say no more! Got!
Well done.
Here we go.
Illuminate the dark. Come forward. Holy land. A wailing banshee healing art. This one's mine. Divide.
Can't end here!
Lightning is down. Back from death to Thunderblade. Eat now.
Tion!
Get toasty.
Burn strike!
I'll bring you back from death to this.
I've healed myself.
I have to train harder.
I owe you one.
I hope this thing is medically approved.
Ready to go!
Here's a
Still don't
healing
know
orb.
what we're supposed to do to actually be able to attack him.
It's about to strike.
Because maybe we can target him,
Sharp, everyone!
you know... Maybe we can target him after he just completely obliterates everybody.
Not done yet!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender.
No.
We won't retreat, not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alvin!
Watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down!
That's actually kind of lame. At least the first time
Everyone
they did
okay?
something like that, it was against Balsev, so he
I
was
think so.
a boss by himself, and then you had the thing in the back throwing a bunch of stuff.
That thing scared the pants off me.
That was just
It
waves
felt
of
like it had a
normal
different
enemies while he
aura
was
than other
interfering, and then
symbols,
he gets
didn't it?
one shot in a
Yeah.
cutscene.
It wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Hey, there's Incineration Wave.
I'm even stronger than before.
Let's go forward until we get to another teleport point. So that way I don't have to run back through here again.
Hey, is that it over there?
Just got what you need for that. They just need Ignis Roars. But I'm missing 2 sharp fangs. looks like everybody has the best weapon for right now, except Shion, because I'm 2 sharp fangs short.
Have you got... checked your equipment lately?
Okay. So this is all good. This is good. This is good. This is good. Guess about the only one I'd want to change on that one is the wind damage. I'm pretty happy with all of them. Alright, we're
You can
broke,
never
but we
be
got
too
everything.
prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
Yeah, we did.
Alvin?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alvin.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
Alright, well I need sharp fangs so that I can make Shions. So let's go to Iglia Waste to do that first. We just need 2. I mean, basically just gonna rip through them until we get what we need.
We finally made it.
With battle well waged... Oh.
That was...
Shion, could we talk a moment?
Hey, do you have time to talk? There's something I need to ask you.
Of course. What's up?
It's about the doll I used to have as a little girl. I gave it some more thought, and I still don't remember actually receiving it from anyone.
You were so little. I don't think it's that surprising you've forgotten, is it?
Yeah, but here's the thing. That doll was so old, I'm starting to think I just always had it with me from the start. I know that it's extremely unlikely, but after last time we talked, it got me thinking. Maybe you brought the doll that child made with you to Lenegis.
I couldn't be.
Are you saying you didn't? Look, logically speaking, I know it's a lot more likely that you didn't bring it with you than you did. But you can't say for sure you didn't, right? Crazier things have happened. I always thought I'd be alone, only to end up meeting you, and Law, and Rinwell, and Kisara, and Dohalim. Sometimes things happen in life that we never thought possible.
You make a good point. I left everyone and everything I knew behind 300 years ago. But now, I'm not so alone anymore.
Exactly. You crossed all those centuries to find all of us, so...
Why can't a little doll have made the same jump too?
Right? Look, it's up to you to decide if there's any meaning behind all of this. But I choose to think there is.
Yeah, I think so too. There's something beautiful about the whole thing that simply can't be denied.
Sorry if I'm a bit restless during the night. Come on, guys.
Yep,
We've got lots
there's
to do.
hardly any sun left. Yeah, come on, Sharp Fang, Sharp Fang. Up for interpretation.
Out of our way!
You're wide open!
This could be useful.
Nope, not what I needed.
Coming through.
Here goes!
Lionheart!
Opted for an intricately crafted weapon as usual.
It is beautiful in both function and form.
You're gonna hate...
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Shion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
We're in good form!
Alright. That's what I needed.
We've reached our destination.
Oh, I was out of the wrong thing. Okay, so I need a bizarre megacore. Lane Woodland. How was that? I think I
We've
needed
reached our
2 of them?
destination.
Crap, wrong way.
It's noisy in here, isn't it?
Things should calm down a little once we're through with this place.
Optimistic as always.
Whatever you do, just stay away from the sword.
Barely a blip on our radar.
We finally made it.
Oh, now it's a money issue. 4,000, 8,000. I need 12,660. There. Now everybody has the best weapon they can make right now. But the only other thing is, do I want to go back and try out their advanced arenas yet, since now they're all a couple of levels above instead of a couple of levels below. I'll wait till a little bit later so that I can breeze through them. A lot of these characters I don't have a huge ton of experience in battle with.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegus? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegus.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegus and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegus?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegus who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegus. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Xion can finally get rid of her thorns. Xion?
Huh? Yeah.
Yep, we're just gonna be a wrecking ball going through the whole place.
Where? Xion? Where'd Xion go? How could she just go off on her own? She's not over there. Where did she run off to? Xion.
I was wondering maybe they could other quotes or something if you ran around before finding her. But take like 2 steps and it shows her.
Xion. Xion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time. The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Xion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance. was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
Yep. She was on a suicide
That's why
mission.
you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
It will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
That's too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Die. It's no better than being a slave. How can you endure this? It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. We'll fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for
Yep,
good.
at this
not
point,
a-
I think he's just become a masochist.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible, though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. No matter what happens from now on, I'm right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys. You're all so stubborn.
Might even have been more powerful since, you know, they were all farmered up, looking the same.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, Even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
So we're gonna have to commence the final mission to save the waifu.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point. But I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Which part?
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control.
Well, she
everyone
said that
still
once her
worries about
maiden
me.
power unlocked, it went from thinking it was going to
You're
happen
not the
to
only
being
one.
pretty sure it was going to happen.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally...
I mean,
live
from
in
what
peace.
she's saying here, it kind of does make
I
sense
swear I'll be there with you.
when you
Until
factor
the
in the
very
fact that
end.
because of her thorns, she's essentially been ostracized and alone her entire life.
Thank you.
So she's pretty much already depressed.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break
And
it
I mean,
down.
if she was already in a pretty depressed
I
state,
think you
you
may be
know,
right about that.
you're basically just looking for a reason to kill yourself at that point. So even if she wasn't sure, she may still go towards that direction anyway, since she had very little to live for.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegus.
Like, she had no human connections, and her life, you know, basically sucked, so she was probably already in the mindset that dying might not be such a bad thing. And then having this whole, I guess, feeling that the thorns inside her were going to destroy the world, probably figured, why not? And then, as she said, when her maiden's powers, even though she had friends at that point, when her maiden powers activated, she basically confirmed and realized that that was what was going to happen.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth.
Well, yeah,
behind
but that's
Shion's
because you're trying
stories
to make
and find a
sense
way
of
to
it.
save her. Sound good?
And granted, I know a lot of people try to do that in storylines. They want everything to make
Let's
sense,
go.
but the truth is, people don't make sense. People do a lot of stupid things for emotional reasons.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use her time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
And now Tales of has become Star Ocean. The circle is complete.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered.
That would have been
Nothing
interesting
like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it.
if they kind of like if they did it the way they did it in like Lost
I was just
Odyssey,
wondering
where
what it is.
she goes on,
Looks big enough to
she
fit
drops
a
to
person
zero and
inside
goes
it.
unconscious, and then like a few
It's a
seconds
healing
later
power.
she just pops back
Fixes
up,
injuries and illnesses.
healed for no reason.
Oh, you don't say.
Because that would have you asking
That
questions
should
the entire
definitely come in
playthrough
handy
why
if
it
any
only
of us get
happens to
injured while
her,
we're down
and then
there.
you finally get the answer here. Yeah.
Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? Would that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship. Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Collegian.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
I just imagined like one of those big Zeugles, like wolves, cooking. When he said that. Alright. So now that the 3 billion cutscenes are done, let's go in. Place ain't looking too great.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown?
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim. Don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever.